Good evening, everyone. Really great to be here today, and what a fantastic venue, the London Stock Exchange. I hear this is the first time here, so definitely a lure. I've been CEO of 1Spatial for around 6 years. When I took over, the company was worth 16 million, and it's now around 60 million, and it's been an incredible journey. And I hope I can convey over the next 20 minutes or so why I'm so passionate about that. And we have some amazing people at 1Spatial, some amazing software and some amazing customers. And bringing all that together is very exciting. So we have got the disclaimer, but it's at the end of the presentation. But just be rest assured that does apply. Quite an extensive presentation, so I will skip through some slides quicker than others, and because it's so extensive and sometimes people don't always get what we do. We're a software company, we work with data, so I just want you to remember sort of 3 things. If you remember these, I think that's really good. So remember that we're in software, remember that we're in location data, and I'm going to tell you the 3rd thing at the end. So this is what we're going to cover, and I'm going to kick off then with a bit about location data. So the demand for location data has never been greater, and location organisations are really using it to make better decisions. And some of those decisions are on the right-hand side there, and we are involved in these. So you have to have your data in place. You need a digital twin of your data to do planning for electric vehicles. And I'm sure we noticed there has been a bit of a slowdown in the uptake of that, and that is because a lot of the infrastructure is not in place. And the reason why a lot of the infrastructure is not in place is because the data and the decision makers, that is, something that's really compounding that issue. We work with the Environment Agency. They want a digital twin of their defences so that they can ensure that they can do planning. And obviously things like flooding and erratic weather is just happening more and more now. And in the US, we're working with emergency services, and we're helping to provide a digital twin so that the call routing can happen more effectively. So these are the decisions that are happening with data that we're helping to cleanse and put in a correct order so that they can help make these decisions. So if we just have a focus here, first of all, on the left-hand side of the slide, and then we'll have a look at the right-hand side, because the left-hand side of this slide is really where we are now. And this is what we've been building over the last 5 years. We've got our existing enterprise business, and this provides expertise and reputation and financial resources to build what I'm going to talk about in a moment, which is our high-margin SaaS solutions. But coming back to the enterprise business, we've got our market-leading software platform for location master data management. And as I mentioned earlier, we're using this to help our customers to make critical decisions. We have a number of customers globally, and we're really building those recurring revenues. And that's been something that I've been really doing over the last 5 to 6 years, and we'll have a look at the financials later on that really demonstrates that. We've got a good range of customers there. You'll note that Google, yes, we help Google in the US with their data for their campuses. And UK Power Networks, we'll talk about them later on. We work with a number of partners globally. We are relatively small. You'll see we've got about 32 million of revenues. And you can see the split of our revenues on the pie chart there. So we are now in over half of our revenues is recurring in nature, which is obviously very good. And we've got a broad split of operations globally, and a key growth area is for us is in the US. So we've really, over the last 5 to 6 years, has been investing in our technology, and particularly in our cloud platform and our SaaS-based solutions, software as a service-based solutions. And I'm sure you're all aware, software as a service implies you can get a higher multiple for your business. And we're going to focus a bit later on the OneStreetWorks solution, but there's a huge market opportunity there. And we're using this enterprise business to fund the development of these SaaS-based businesses. From an enterprise perspective, we sit at the middle of two key global growing markets, the geospatial information systems business and the master data management business. The uniqueness of our proposition is that we're data agnostic and system agnostic, and that's why we can work with bringing lots of data together from different systems, and we'll look at a good example of that in a moment. And here is the example. So if we just have a look at the picture here, probably something that you are familiar with, roadworks, digging up the road, and beneath the road is a sea of different pipes and cables. And it might surprise you to know that if you were, say, from Thames Water and you try to dig up that road, you might know where your pipe is, but you don't know where all of the other pipes are. That is because these pipes and information is held in between 650 different asset owners across the UK. So different local authorities, different utility companies. Well, what the UK government wanted to do is to get all this data in one place, that when you are digging up the road, you know what all the other pipes and cables that would be there. And so at 1Spatial, we've been contracted to help the UK government to bring this map together of all these underground pipes. So I'm not going to go through the detail of that, but I think that gives a really good explanation of how our technology works in our enterprise business. And then this is I'm going to come back to this side, this is our market leading platform. So just an example of the National Underground Asset Register, you can see this is all data from different sources. We can bring in data from, say, Ordnance Survey, we can bring it from CAD data, different systems, different customers, different data. We can bring all these different data sets in. We have our cloud-enabled portal, One Data Gateway, and it's our One Integrate, which is our patented rules engine that really does all the hard work. And this is really, a secret sauce that we've got here. We work with the US Census in the US, we work with Google and the likes. The reason why we do that is because our rules engine can cope with vast amounts of very complicated data. And I would say it's the world leading in terms of spatial rules engines. And what we do with that data, we can validate it, clean it, synchronize it, update it, and then provide some analysis. Now, this really here is our enterprise business. And as I mentioned before, we're doing the National Underground Asset Register, and we're doing the likes of roads with California Transportation System. But what we've been doing over the last 5 years is really to try and invest in our cloud platform. So this is cloud enabled, but what we've been doing is creating software as a service solutions where we can get some repeatability of the rules. And our first two ones that have been launched are for NG911 for emergency services in the US and One Streetworks in the UK. And I'm going to go into those in a few more minutes, but I think here we are. So this is it. So this is our growth strategy. So sort of three key strands. First of all, the enterprise business. So that's existing business. It's still very important for us. And really what we're doing in that helps us to then build these repeatable SaaS solutions. So One Streetworks has got a transformational growth opportunity in the UK. And NG911 is really considerably expanding our US opportunity. So, first of all, just sticking with our core business, what we're calling the enterprise business, the left-hand part of the slide. We really, as I said, help bring that data together from different sources. And clients need that, particularly now when they want to create a digital twin. And it's really important for AI systems, because if you want to use AI, you have to feed it data. And if you're feeding it bad data, you're not going to get a good output from that AI system. So helping them put good data into their systems. So in this part of the business, the enterprise business, we're looking at targeting 10 to 15% growth in UK and Europe. And we're targeting 20 to 30% growth in our US business. And that's predominantly across the States, but we've also got some customers in federal government. And what that does on an ongoing basis is provide us with credibility, insight and capital for our SaaS-based solutions. Okay, so I'm now going to play a quick couple of minutes video just to give you a bit more of an insight as to what 1Streetworks does. So hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into 1Streetworks. We've got the Managing Director of 1Streetworks here today, Andy Fennell, and his team, and they'll be outside if you want to get a real live demo after the end of the presentations. So just to recap on some of the items that were mentioned in the video then. So this really is the first solution in the market to fully automate the production of traffic management plans, really significantly reducing time and costs. As I said, there's a 400 million market opportunity in low-speed roads alone in the UK. And yeah, this is really on the rise because of a lot of the key drivers, particularly around infrastructure. So electrification to the UK, electrification of the UK, and the rollout of fibre. So as mentioned earlier, it is really pure software as a service. There's no services, it's quick to access and one platform to maintain, gross margin of 80%. We've just signed our first license with UK Power Networks, and it's being really well received by the wider market. We've got lots of trials that are underway, and we've got a really great pipeline. So this is our vision or our ambition for 1Streetworks. So we are the #1 provider of automated compliant traffic management planning in the UK. And our financial ambition is to organically grow to 40 million of annual recurring revenue. And it's difficult to give a margin at this stage as we're fairly early stage, but we've already given gross margins. But, looking at SaaS businesses, I would say it would at least be what a SaaS business is from an EBITDA margin perspective, if not a little bit more, given, how much market opportunity we've got versus our enterprise business. So in terms of where to play, in FY25, we're focusing on 3 sectors: utilities, Tier 1 contractors, they're the likes of Kier and Skanska that are now Milestone, and traffic management companies. And we've got some other sectors that we're going to look to play in FY26. And we've also got our NG911 SaaS opportunity. I'm going to not spend as much time on this today, as we've really focused on 1Streetworks. But again, another great SaaS opportunity for us. There's a 350 million market annual recurring revenue, good gross margins. We've secured 5 contracts of that last year. And, we've been integrating with a partner where we think that's going to help drive adoption during this financial year. but really two great opportunities, all underpinned by our patented technology, 1Integrate. So, financial performance. We're lucky enough to have Stuart Ritchie, our Chief Financial Officer, here today, and we recently released our trading update, so we've put those numbers on the slide here. So we've made progress against the key financial metrics, providing a strong platform for further growth in future years. And just to remember, really, this is just our enterprise business, because our SaaS is quite small at the moment, but that is something to come on top of this in the future. But our revenues are up 7%. That is a minimum because it's a trading update. We're obviously going through the audit at the moment. Our recurring revenues are now 55% of our total revenues. Our software term license revenue in our enterprise business, not to be confused with the Streetworks revenues, is up 70% to 8.7 million. So in recurring revenue, we also have some support and maintenance as well as term licenses. Our adjusted EBITDA is up 10% to 5.5 million, and our PBT is 1 million. And we have cash, and we have sufficient cash and facilities to cover our working capital requirements and our planned investments. So we had a lot of investment in R&D over the last few years to push forward with our SaaS platform. There will be incremental things we do out to our SaaS solutions, but we've done the bulk of the capex now, and so we believe with our facilities and everything we have, we're in a good place to push forward with all of our plans and execute on those. And this is a sort of pictorial presentation of where we really want to take the business. And, now is where we are at the moment. So you can see we've been increasing those term license revenues, which are in the black, over the last few years. And we really want to grow those from our enterprise business, as well as grow our software as a service revenues. And our ambition is put up there. So, at 1Spatial, we really are an inflection point, and a good really time to come on board as an investor. We've got a sales-focused team. We've got some compelling offerings. We're growing our recurring revenues, and there really are multiple avenues for transformational growth. We've looked at these new addressable markets, such as the Streetworks, which is for 400 million. And we really are confident in delivering transformational growth. So, as I said at the beginning, hopefully the sort of three things that you take away about 1Spatial: it's software, it's location data, and I'd say the third thing really is about the Streetworks, because we really do believe that is a transformational SaaS-based offering for us. And I think that's it, apart from I'm going to do the disclaimer for you. There you go.